thought I would wear my cheerful pants today. So, same as usual, making sure that you're working at your own level, at your own pace. If you need the rest, take the rest whenever you need the rest. Choose the option that works the best for you. At no point there should be pain in the joints. So no back pain, no knee pain, no shoulder pain. And then always remember, if you're not sure about something, just pop a comment under the video, and then I'll try to answer it as quickly as I can. So same as usual, standing up nice and tall, trying to find your neutral alignment. Body weight evenly spread front and back of the feet, inside and outside of the feet. The toes are light, the arches are lifting, the knees are soft, the back is in neutral. 3 soft curves running down the spine. Shoulders are down, the chest is lifted, the chin parallel to the floor. Aware of the breath, making sure that you're breathing, not holding. Focusing on the shoulders, focusing on the upper back. I'm going to start raising both arms up to the front, lifting them up and towards the ceiling. Think of the shoulders are keeping down, so I don't want the shoulders to shrug up to the head, I don't want my shoulders to shrug up to my ears, as that will tend to hunch me forward, and that will tend to push me forward. So see if I can think of the shoulders sliding and dropping down at the back, as the arms are lifting, the upper back, your thoracic spine is extending through. So I'm happy with the movement. I feel that the arms feel a little bit easier, a little bit looser to move. Going a little bit wider if I need to. I'm going to start combining the legs. As the arms come up, I'm going to bend one knee, roll up onto the ball of the foot. I'm going to lift the foot off the ground. Aiming for the knee to come up as high as you can. So for the hip flexion, I'm going to ease the arm and the leg back, and then I'm going to try the same to the other side. So encouraging the balance to start working on the right, on the left leg, noticing the pressure under the foot you're standing on. Feel the big toe pressing into the ground to help you stabilize the foot, making sure that the arch is still lifted on the inside. If the arch buckles, then the all of the leg will tend to collapse. So see if I can maintain a nice solid foot, a nice solid base, making sure that the hips are level. If the pelvis tips down or up one way or the other, then the tendency will be to overbalance or underbalance and then lose the balance. So I'm happy with the movement. I feel that I've got a good control over the right and then over the left side. So on the next one, as the leg comes up, I'm going to hold it up there. I'm going to let the arms come down, but keeping the leg raised. What I want is for my hip joint to go at least a 90-degree angle. If I can do more, I'll do more. I'm going to hold the leg there, and then with the hand behind the thigh, I'm going to encourage the leg to lift up just a fraction higher. What I want is for the leg to stay there, not drop. So I'm going to let go with the hands and then see if I can hold that leg there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I'm going to ease that leg back. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So I'm going to raise the arms, pick up the leg, holding the leg, bring down the arms, the same as on the other side. See if I can get to that 90 degree, and then using the arms if I need to. I want to go past that 90, go further up, holding that extra lift, let go with the arms, don't drop the leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing back. Releasing the hip, I'm going to try and add a little bit more this time. So I'm going to pick up the first leg again, find my balance. I'm going to pull the leg past that 90 as close to the chest as I can, making sure that you're not leaning backwards, you're not rounding into the back. So I'm not lifting from the back, I'm lifting from the hip. Once that I feel that the leg is as high as I can, I'm going to leave it there. If I can do a little bit more, then I'm going to put the hands down on top of the thigh and then pushing down as hard as I can, resisting that pressure with the leg. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Relaxing the leg, I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So picking up the other leg, lifting up, using the hands to bring it up higher, See if you can get to that 90 and then past that 90 degree of hip flexion. And then if I want to make it harder, both hands on top of the thigh, pushing down as hard as I can, resisting with the leg. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Relaxing the hips, releasing the legs, so hopefully a little bit more activation into the deep flexors. What I want is the same, but into the back of the hips, into the back of the bum. So I'm going to turn so that I've got enough space behind for the leg to move. I'm going to tip forward from the hips, just ever so slightly, don't exaggerate, and making sure that the knees are soft, they're not locking and slamming backwards, so I'm not putting pressure into the knee joint. I'm going to keep that hip flexion through, so the back is still in neutral, it's not rounding, it's not curving, I'm not hunching down. I'm going to bend one knee, roll up onto the ball of the foot, and then I'm going to start sliding the foot back, keeping the foot on the floor. I want the leg to go nice and straight, and then I'm just going to slide it back, and then I'm going to slide it over again. So going forward and back, see if you can get that full hip extension, feeling the front of the hip opening, the back of the bum tensing to create that full extension through. Then maintaining that extension through the leg. On the next one, I'm going to load that lift. So squeezing the leg behind, think of a little bit more squeezer from the back of the bum. I'm going to let that leg lift and then come back. Lift and then come back. Now if the bum is working, the leg should be able to stay straight, and then the back should be able to keep still. If the bum is not working, then the tendency will be for the knee to bend so that I can use my hamstring, or for my back to arch so that I can kind of like swing all of the hips up. See if you can be aware of the body holding still. It's just the leg that is moving. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and sliding back. Releasing the legs. I'm going to try exactly the same thing to the other side. So tipping forward from the hips are coming forward slightly, making sure that the back is still holding neutral. I'm going to bend the other knee, roll up onto the ball of the foot, and then I'm going to start sliding the leg back. Extending through the hip, feeling the back of the bum, actively working, and then I'm going to slide back. Sliding away, and then sliding back. So the rest of the body is holding perfectly still. The supporting knees nice and soft, and making sure that again you're not slamming it backwards, you're not hyperextended. And then on the next one I'm going to extend the leg behind, hold it straight, squeezing with the back of the bum, the leg up a little bit higher. So pulling up, pulling up, pulling up. Noticing if you're rotating, noticing if you're arching, noticing if you're bending the knee. See if you can keep the back straight, to see if you can keep the leg straight, or just a little squeeze coming from your glutes to create that lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Releasing the hips, releasing the leg, a little bit more activation through the side. I want a little bit more load, but this time working a little bit more into the side of the hip, into the side of the bum. So I'm going to shuffle to the left side of the mat, so I've got a little bit more room to my right, and then I'm going to start stepping out with the right leg. So I'm going to opening out into a side lunge, making sure the hip, the knee and the foot are in a good alignment, so the leg is not twisting and collapsing in, the foot is not rolling on the inside. The foot is nice and lifted on the inside. As you come back, I think we're squeezing with the inner thighs and the side of the hips together, so I'm going to squeeze my way back. And I'm going to open out again and then squeeze my way back. So finding the length of the step and the depth of the step that works for the hips. So what I want is a nice springy movement. So if I step too long, then to come back, I'll have to kind of like swing myself out. If I step too short, then I can't feel anything. So see if I can try and find the medium range where I feel that I can bounce my way back. I can feel the tension is coming from the side of the hip and the inner thighs working together to create that out and back movement, out and back movement. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Then I'm going to shuffle to the other end of the mat. I'm going to repeat the same thing to the other side. So stepping out to the left leg, making sure there's a land, foot, knee and hip are in good alignment, the hips are facing forward. I'm not turning to the side as that will make the lunge a forward lunge. I want a side lunge. And then squeezing with the hips, squeezing with the inner thighs. I'm going to come back. So see if I can try and find my spring this way. Deciding, can I go a little bit longer? Can I maybe drop down a little bit deeper? Do I keep it shallower? Just listening to that driving leg, making sure that I'm not creating pain into the knee, the hip or the foot. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Relaxing the hips, releasing the legs. I'm going to start playing with the movement. I'm going to start combining them a little bit together. So turning to face the shorter side of the mat to give yourself a little bit more room at the back. I'm going to repeat on the same leg. I'm going to start with my knee lift, same as I practiced at the beginning. So I'm going to bend my right knee, roll up onto the ball of the foot, lifting the foot off the ground, taking the leg up as high as I can. I'm going to lunge the right leg behind. So bending that left knee, I'm going to take the right leg as far back as I can. Right knee, left foot, left hip all lined up. And then I'm going to go back into that knee lift. Then back into the lunge, back into the knee lift. Back into the lunge, back into the knee lift. To see if you can get the arms to join in. It should happen automatically. Don't overthink it, as you tend to lead with the wrong arm. So like when you walk, it should be opposite sides working together. So as my right knee's up, my left arm should be driving forward. And then I'm going to swap and swap and swap and swap. 10, 9, 8. Big squeeze coming from the left hip, from the back of the bum, driving up. 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Relaxing the standing leg. I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. So picking up the left knee, I'm going to lift up as high as I can, and then lunging the leg behind to see how deep, how long, how shallow I want to make my lunge. I'm going to pull the knee back, and then drop, and then lift, and then drop. Again, as the left knee comes up at the front, my right arm should be driving forward, and then I'm going to swap. So it's a little running man the other way. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Releasing the hips, there's a little bit more connection front to back. I want a little bit more connection side to side. So I'm going to shuffle back to the left side of the mat, giving myself a little bit more room to the right. I'm going to go back into that side lunge. This time, as I spring back, I'm going to spring back into the knee lift, and then back into that side lunge again. So I'm going to go out to the side, up into balance, out to the side, up into balance, out to the side, up into balance. It's exactly the same as you were doing front to back, but this time I'm going to do a side to side. 10, 9, 8, little pause into balance. 7, pause. 6, pause. 5, pause. 3, pause. 2, pause. 1, pause, and release. And then I'm going to repeat the same the other way. So shuffling to the other end of the mat, lunging over with the left leg, and then up into the knee lift. Out, up into the knee lift. out, up into the knee lift. 10, pause into balance. 9, find your balance. 8, find the balance. 7, pause. 6, pause. 5, pause. 4, pause. 3, pause. 2, pause. Last one. Pause and releasing back. Releasing the hips, releasing the legs. Hopefully body's a little bit warmer. I'm just going to add some arms. It's getting into a slightly bigger movement through the arms. This is stepping the feet anywhere between hips and shoulder width apart. I'm going to step them parallel and pointing forward. The arches are lifted on the inside. If I look down at my legs, my shin bones are nice and upright, so they're not knocking in. Making sure that at no point you find yourself going that way. As the leg is buckling, is giving way, it's collapsing, so there's quite a lot of pressure through the hip, through the knee, through the foot, possibly all the way across the back into the shoulder. So planting the shin bones up on top of the feet, I'm going to bend the knees, I drop the hips, I'm going to sit down into a little squat. Pushing my way back and then driving down again. On the way up, as if you can really try to drive through the glutes, as if you can, almost like as if you're trying to push the hips forward without exaggeration. I don't want to end up leaning backwards and straining the back. Dropping just as deep or shallow as you want into the squat, just making sure that you're not hunching. So I'm not dropping my head down, I'm dropping my hips down. I want to sit on the floor, not put my face on the ground. And then maintaining that movement going, I'm going to start adding the arms, clasping the hands together, holding the hands whichever way you want. I'm going to drop down the middle, swing over one shoulder, drop down the middle, swing to the other side, down the middle, over one shoulder, down the middle to the other side. 10, swing, 9, swing, 8, swing, 7, swing, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then this time I'm going to change the direction. Instead of swinging over the shoulder, I'm going to swing my way around a little bit more. So I'm going to drop down the middle, swing round, drop down the middle, swing the other way, drop down the middle, swing round, drop down the middle, swing the other way. 10, swing, 9, swing, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Releasing the shoulders, there's a little bit more movement into the back. I'm going to finish off with a little bit of a forward flexion before we move to the ground. So stepping the feet back, the hips width apart, facing the length of the mat. I'm going to raise both arms up and towards the ceiling. If you can balance, pushing off the ground, rolling up onto the ball of the feet, lifting up as high as you can. Dropping the heels, bending the knees. I'm going to round at the back. I'm going to swing my way forward as if I was trying to put my head between my knees. And then swinging my way back. I'm going to push off the ground, rolling up onto the ball of the feet to find my balance. And then I'm going to drop forward, round and drop down. Making sure that as you're dropping down into that forward flexion, there is no pull on the back, there is no pain across the back of the pelvis or shooting pain down the legs. So the movement should be feeling quite loose or quite comfortable. If I feel that the movement is quite easy, I want to progress it, then I'm going to challenge the balance. So I'm going to add a little momentum. So I'm going to swing down with momentum, swing back up, trying to find my balance at the top, and then drop down again. Find my balance at the top, and then drop down again. Find my balance at the top, drop down again. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And releasing down. Relaxing the arms and releasing the shoulders. I'm going to add one more movement from standing to groundwork. And then that's your warm-up finished. You can join one of the main routine if you want to, or if this is enough, great work. So I'm going to stand at the end of the mat. I'm going to try and give myself plenty of space, especially if I'm quite tall. I don't want my feet and my hands to end up on the floor, as that might make me slip. So I'm going to rest at the balls of the feet on the edge of my mat. I'm going to roll my way down, rounding the upper back, rounding the lower back, bending the knees as much as you need, reaching down. Hands on the mat. I'm going to start walking the hands forward. I'm aiming for my hands to get as close to the other end of the mat as possible. So I'm going to keep walking and walking and walking and walking and walking until I feel that I can't go any further. The shoulders are locked, the belly connected, the legs are working. If I disconnect here, I'll be dropping down. So I need to hold that tension. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I'm going to walk my way back. One hand at a time, all the way back onto the feet, and then I'm going to uncurl all the way back up to the top. And then I'm going to try again. So imagine that point that you've touched before. I want to get to that same point, or if possible, half an inch further. So I'm going to put the hands down, I'm going to walk my way forward, and then keep walking and walking and walking and walking. See if I can go that tiny little bit more. Hold it steady. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I'm going to walk my way back. Notice which arm you bring forward when you walk your way forward, and then which arm when you walk your way back. You will tend to use always the same arm. See if you can try and use the other one too, so both arms are getting the same amount of work. Trying again. Rolling down onto the mat. Hands on the mat to start walking the hands forward. Getting to that same point, and then see if I can go just a little bit further. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I'm going to walk my way back. I'm curling all the way back up to the top. One more time. Letting the chin drop, letting the shoulders come forward. Hands on the mat, just start walking the hands forward. Get into that same spot, and then see if I can get that little bit more. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then walk it back. As you get to the feet, I'm curling all the way back up. Then if you're ready for the main routine, pick your own weapon, and I hope you enjoyed this one, and see you soon.